Lenora was written for and about Lenora Carlson, who was a friend and neighbor of ours who died in 2010, tragically and much too young of cancer. Lenora and her husband Dave and their 2 children were neighbors. They were part of our camping group that camped various state parks and sites around Texas. Our children went trick-or-treating together, and we had been friends for a number of years when Lenora got sick. Around the same time, Houston had suffered a couple of hurricanes, a couple of tropical storms, a couple of hurricane scares. Specifically in 2008, Hurricane Ike came right over Houston, right over our little town outside of Houston, and in fact right over our neighborhood. And Hurricane Ike was very destructive, created a tremendous amount of issues in and around Houston. And so while all this was going on, I had the idea of hurricane and destruction and the destructive horror that is cancer and serious illness. It was all kind of floating around in my head. And I was thinking about how we spend so much, in fact, almost all of our time looking forward and planning for the future. And much of what we do is designed to get us to a place where we believe that we can enjoy ourselves. And it struck me that hurricanes and natural disasters and cancer and illness and the type of things that disrupt your life in such a horrible way, they have some similarities. You know, you go from looking forward, from planning for tomorrow, to no longer looking ahead. Now you're faced with putting the pieces back together, and all the things that you thought mattered, you know, you don't know if they matter anymore, and you don't know how to get there, and the path you were on in an instant is changed. And I'd been writing a lot and have been writing a lot with Joe, and so I sent the story to him, and I said, look, this is kind of what happened, and really the words to the song are really just a vehicle to get to the point where that long instrumental jam part is, because that's where I think you deal with the emotions, all the different emotions that are going on. And as he always does, you know, Joe took my little idea, my little story, and turned it into something that I think is just fantastic. He actually made a tweak to one of the lines that I think is brilliant. I had a line in there that went something like, all the, you know, songs we sung, you know, we won't ever sing again, or something like that. And he changed it to, we will never sing again. And boy, I thought that was brilliant, because songs are things of joy. But the whole idea of taking that line, even in the context of the story, just saying we will never sing again, whew, you know, that's kind of how you feel in a moment like that. Man, I'm never going to sing again. I'm never going to be happy again, and you're certainly never going to be the same again. I've always been interested in, you know, what happens after such a tragic loss. What happens to everybody, the family, everybody that's close to this person. You know, it's easy to say, well, you know, they would want us to go on and be strong, and I think they probably would, but that's really hard to do. And the last verse, you know, has this imagery of, you know, the starry sky, and you know, the watchful eye, the peaceful eye, the eye of the hurricane, maybe the eye of the storm of life, when things calm down. You know, when you look up and you realize, okay, you know, this has happened to us, here we are, you know, where do we go from here? At the end of the day, you really only got one choice. You know, you got to just take it one step at a time, and you got to plug along, and you got to get through. You got to get through it somehow. And that's kind of how the song ends. You know, we're going to do this. We're going to get through this for Lenora.
All those lights that fill the sky at night, wishes on 1,000 stars, can't change the way things are, but they'll shine their